Today we're answering one of the biggest questions veterans ask, and honestly, one of the most misunderstood VA home loans benefits out there. If I'm 100% permanent and total, does the VA funding fee get waived? Most people think the answer is simple, but there are details in here that can save you thousands of dollars depending on your home loan. And a lot of veterans lose money because nobody explained this to them clearly. So today I'm breaking it down in a simple real world way, not complicated terms, no lender talk, just straight truth so you don't overpay. Let's get into it. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Military Insider Show. Thank you so much for coming back. Thank you so much for your support. And today we are going to talk about VA loans. And I know a lot of veterans out there that are asking the same question. So let's jump right into it, okay? What's the VA funding fee really is? So before we go into the PNT, permanent and total, let's make sure we all understand what the VA funding fee actually is. When you use your VA home loan, the VA charges most veterans a one-time fee. It's usually rolling to the loan. So a lot of veterans don't even realize they're paying it because they don't see it. But this is the fee helps keep the VA program or VA loan program self-sustained so taxpayers don't have to pay a bigger bill later on. But here is the catch. The VA funding fee isn't small. For many veterans, especially if you are on your second home loan, VA loan, or big purchases, this fee can be anywhere from $5,000 to $20,000 or more. So you need to make sure you looked at your disclosures. So whenever you can get it waived, that matters. That real money staying in your pocket instead of going into fees. Imagine you're about to purchase your second home and your VA funding fee is $8,000 and you don't even know because nobody explained this to you. Now, does the PNT waive the funding fee, the permanent and total? All right, that's the big question. If you are 100% permanent and total, do you pay the VA funding fee? The simple answer is no. You do not pay it. If you are PNT, you are automatically considered exempt. But here's where most people get confused. It's not just PNT that waived fee. You don't even need to be PNT. You don't need to be 100%. You don't need to be 90, 70, 50, or even 30%. The VA funding fee is waived for all veterans who have any compensation from VA as long as they are service connected. That means if you are 10, 20, 40%, 100%, of course, you're exempt. So yes, PNT veterans definitely qualify, but so do veterans with any disability rating at all. A lot of lenders, even realtors, mess this up. They forget to tell their clients, they forget to tell their VA clients. So it's important for you to know the truth. So when you are buying a home, you need to make sure you read your closing disclosures, or they call it the GFE, the good faith estimate. When they give you all the estimates with all the loan fees, you need to make sure if you are doing a VA loan, those charges are not there. All right, the part that costs veterans money. Now let's talk about the part nobody tells you. The part that makes veterans lose thousands of dollars. It's all about timing. Your disability rating must be approved by the VA and showing in your certificate of eligibility before you close on the home. Not after, not pending, not decision coming soon, not I have my CMP exam next week. This has to be on the COE, the certificate of eligibility. On the day you close, the VA must already have your rating on file. Let me give you a quick scenario. Let's say you're closing on your home on May 3rd, but your VA disability gets approved on May 12th. So that'll be after your closing date. And let's take it a step further. The VA backdates your rating to March. Guess what? You still have to pay the funding fee because your rating was not approved on the day you closed. This is why so many veterans gets frustrated because they know they're receiving disability, but the timing does not line up with the closing date. If the rating isn't official by closing, you pay the funding fee up front. But I'll get to refunds later, but there's good news for some of you. Now, the COE, this is the golden ticket, the certificate of eligibility. Now, let's talk about the document that really decide whether you paid or not. Your COA, your lenders look at the COA, not your rating decision. The COE has to show the lines that says funding fee exempt. If your COE does not show that, even if you're PNT, even if you're 100% permanent and total, even if you've been receiving disability for years, your lender cannot legally waive the funding fee. So what do you do if your COA is outdated? Simple. All you got to do is upload your VA rating decision to va.gov, submit a request to update the COE, or even call the VA. They will be able to update it over the phone on the spot. Or your lender can request the updated COE for you. If you are buying a home and they running VA loans and they know how to do it, they usually contact the VA for your updated COA. So don't worry about that. It usually takes probably 24 to 48 hours. So do not skip this step, okay? This one little line on the COA can save you thousands of dollars, okay? So what if you already paid the funding fee? Let's say your disability rating was approved after closing the loan. Can you get that money back? Yes, in some cases. If your rating is approved after closing, the VA will refund the funding fee to you after your lender sends in the updated information. This isn't fast, okay? It might take a few weeks, maybe a couple months, but you can get your money back if the rating comes after your closing date. Now, you need to remember, if your rating was approved before closing and your lender messed that up, you can still fight for the refund. It might take some calls, a couple days, a couple weeks, but it's worth it. All right, surviving spouses also exempt. That's a big question there as well. I want to mention this because a lot of spouses don't know this part, but surviving spouses of veteran who pass away from service-connected disability are also exempt from the VA funding fee automatically. No disability rating needed. If you are a surviving spouse, you do not pay the fee, period. All right, let's make this super simple. If you are 100% PNT, you don't pay the funding fee. Any disability rating 10% or higher also waives the fee. Your rating must be approved before closing. You need to remember that. Not after, not pending. It needs to be approved before your closing date. Your COE, certificate of eligibility, must show exempt. If your rating is approved after closing, you might get a refund, but it might take you a couple weeks, a couple months. And lastly, but not least, surviving spouses, fully exempt. The VA home loan is one of the most powerful benefits veterans have, and sometimes they don't know how to use it. And the funding fee exemption is one of the easiest ways to save you real money, hundreds of thousands of dollars depending on your home purchase. So don't let a lender rush you. Don't close before your rating is official, and always double check your COE and your closing disclosures. Make sure those fees are not there. If you want me to make a couple of videos about these subjects, let me know. Maybe VA loan myth, using your VA loan more than once, how the VA COE works, or how to avoid lenders who overcharge veterans. Let me know. Drop it in the comments, and then I'll probably cover it in the next couple of days. But let me know what you guys think about this information so far. I really appreciate your support. Make sure you hit that like, you hit that subscribe button. It really help the channel out. Thank you so much for your support, and we'll see you in the next one. Stay safe.